Yeah, thanks, Tim. We'll open for any further questions, and you can feel free to turn on your mic and ask. I'm going to quickly, while I'm unmuted, I'm going to ask Tim, do you have any recommendation on hosting? We do recommend few hosting on our website, but based on your experience, do you recommend any particular hosting or any particular package? Can people work with shared hosting as well when they're getting started? Usually, we don't recommend that. But have you seen people working with shared hosting and getting away?
I'll be honest, 70 directories, and I've worked on a lot more than that, just touching them up, doing styling. Shared hosting is the worst thing they can do. I've seen so many people on Bluehost, and I don't want to mention any names, so that's the last name I'll mention that's bad. But Bluehost was the worst of them. I didn't care what plan they had. It just seemed like it wasn't working, right? I don't pass out any affiliate links when I talk to anybody just because I want them to feel it's authentic. As a web developer, I've been to so many hosting companies. If I'm starting a business solution, I can pay 99 cents for a host and get away with it. With viral traffic and pulling in queries and sometimes 10, 20 listings with all the data, I say go with what you can afford. And I'm also the type that will tell you grow as you go. So don't go out there and spend $50 on a hosting package. Cloudways right now, which is my number one recommendation. I come from SiteGround. SiteGround was great to me, never had a problem, but it was $29.99. I pay a lot more because I developed, but the basic plan or the Grow Big plan was $29 a month when you renewed, and I couldn't, like, why start off with that? Right now, Cloudways, and they have been, it's 10 to 12 bucks. You start with that one button click to upgrade, but most of my clients are jumping in that $10 to $12 a month, jumping on their own cloud specific software, never have a problem, never have to call the company. So, I mean, it's a great solution. SiteGround was my number two, but again, the price with Cloudways and the night and day speed that we've seen blew them out of the water. I still stand by Cloudways or SiteGround, but Cloudways right now is number one for me and all my clients.
Thank you, Tim. So I guess no, any questions in the comment?
Yeah, Lenny, I have a question regarding ads.
Tim, I'll just do a quick response if you want to cover that one as well. No, simple answer is no. The admin will have zero involvement when user try to promote their ads. They can, as an admin, you can delete it or you can add new ads from backend. But when a user pays for an ad, I don't think there is even an option to moderate an ad. You can moderate a listing, but not a promoted listing when they're trying to promote over the organic results. I don't know if Tim, you want to add anything to that.
Yeah, that's exactly right. But the good thing is ads aren't specifically anything different than their listing. So what an ad is, I'll share the screen real quick, just so you can see and get a great visual on it. You've already approved the listing, right? I recommend this. So if you're not doing it, I recommend this to all my clients that look, you want to put these on pending, right? Unless you just trust somebody. But nowadays, with all this spam and advertisement, I can't trust when somebody adds a listing. I put them all on pending. So I respond to them. I get the email that says, hey, you got a listing pending. And I respond to it almost immediately because I do this for work. I sit at the house. But if you say, hey, 24 to 48 hours, we'll review your listing, you've already approved the listing. So the listing is something clean, something that fits your site, something that fits your location, and you're good to go with it. All an ad does is an ad specifies that listing. So it's not like they can put anything bad into the ad. It's their listing that you've already approved in most cases. It's not like, hey, they can just put Viagra free for life, get this here or, anything like that. So it's a really clean system that you shouldn't need to do anything. If they want to pay you the money and show up at the top of the search, I say let them. There's nothing that you need to approve there if you approve listings. There is a method of not approving listings. You can turn that off. Again, I personally don't recommend it, only because, yes, people can add a listing, they can pay the money, and maybe they're not even a lawyer on a lawyer site. Maybe they do anti-lawyer. And I'm just like, well, I mean, you paid me the money, but now I have to refund it because I don't want that on my site. So that was perfectly induced, and a great question to ask. You shouldn't have to do anything there. There's another question in there below that says, can you have two types of listings in the one site? Business listings and a deals listing. And just to answer that, yeah, they can add as many listings as you want. On the ad listing page, you can even allow them. So there's some people that want to do per listing, but you can also set these up per package and allow them to have two different listings, in one pricing. Or in my case, here's a funny story that I tell people: if they got two businesses, let them pay twice. But that's just my personal, insight. If I had a gas station, would I want to add 7 different gas stations? No, but again, as a web designer, I'm like, dude, you got 7 gas stations, make them pay 7 times. But just my personal insight. So yes, you can offer it in one deal or 2 deals, and do it any way you see fit. In the back end, I'll show you, just because I'm on the demo, This specific account has a few listings, and you can see that here. They have whether they paid for all of them or
are you
not.
sharing your screen, Tim? Because we're not
Oh,
seeing anything.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Perfect, thanks. It's good to have people like Sam here. It keeps me on point. So right in the back end here, this demo account on the demo site happens to have a few different listings. And from these different listings, they can still do everything if they had one listing. You know, they can upgrade plan, they can remove, they can edit. So yes, you can have more than one listing. And again, we covered, yes, they can pay for one, or you can put in a package and say, hey, you can have 10.
Just to add a little bit more clarity, I guess, is actually there's a lot of time people ask this, like saying, can they add different types of listings? You know, like can they have a restaurant listing versus a real estate listing, or maybe I don't know, yeah, a real estate listing which looks totally different. So we, you know what I'm talking about, Tim, where you know the layout will be different from one listing compared to the other. So that's not possible. You cannot create different types of listing. What they're actually referring to is to different post types. So you can't really create different post types. You can create different businesses, you can create different categories and add to those categories. We have a specific kind of default post types that are for listing post type, events post type. You can have, there are two different, one by default is the events post type and the listing post type. With Medical Pro, you will have a hospital pro, what do you call, post type, and doctor's post type. But just when you're talking about Listing Pro, the default post type will be only listing, and all the listings will be same as per the design layout is concerned, and you can have different post type created out of the box. So I don't know if Tim, you want to add any more clarity to that, or I just confused everybody?
No, you're
It's
pretty
clear.
much right. You bought a theme. You know what the detailed post type or the page looks like. That page does stay the same. Now, based on your pricing plan, you can say, hey, you can have 3 images versus 5 images, but those images still show up in the same spot versus whether they're this type or they're the other type. There's a workaround. I mean, I don't want to get in depth, but of course you can add different. It's WordPress, so you can add
Yeah.
more post types to it, but it just gets really confusing, and definitely you want to have some coder skills. So out of the box, it's the same layout for everybody on the front end, and they do a really good job of that. Can it be used for different things? Yeah. I mean, I have multiple directories that have, let's just say the Bahamas directory, and he has everything from pool cleaning to real estate to car rental. Yes, the style still looks the same, but you can add as many of those categories as you want. It works.
And just to add that, you can restrict, you can even create pricing plan based on different categories as well. You know, some categories you can just completely make it free, and the others you can make it premium, you know, based on however you want to create the site, as well as there's, of course, I think we mentioned about the monthly and the annual recurring and all that stuff. But
Philip, can you embed code in business page, and can you have a button with a link to another page and a business page? Yeah, technically, when you submit a listing, it's got the what you see is what you get editor, or the WSIG. But yes, you can add custom code in there. You're going to have to be a developer or know the custom code. Matter of fact, you don't have to be a developer. If you get that custom code from somewhere else, you can definitely paste that code in there. I've actually done button layouts as well. So I'll like copy the button and tell them, hey, copy this and put your link in here for the user on the front end. For the back end, oh, you can do anything. You edit the listing, you can put whatever you want in that description box and make it work the way you want. An example for this is when we did an import for that MLS site, for that real estate site, we took their NMLS code and actually displayed a button for everybody we imported automatically. So it was really fun, just having a little bit of knowledge of what a button should look like, having to style it up. But yes, you can do that. Again, when you go outside the box and do things like this, embedding code or creating buttons, you're going to want a little bit of knowledge, right? And Google's there for you. How do I create a button in HTML with CSS? You know, so super easy there. And again, they have a great community that will help you out with things like this, and Facebook.
yeah, to the second part, I just want to mention that yes, you can add button. As an admin, of course, you can add whatever you want from backend, right? But as a business owner, listing owner, where you want to give control to users, there's an announcements feature where there will be like a sort of a info box with a call to action. That's one way a business owner can add a call to action on their listing. There's other option like menu management, or I usually call it inventory management. You can list any inventory, or it could be services, and link individual items to external link. You can have an e-commerce site on WooCommerce on the subdomain or on the same domain, if that's how you want it, and then you can link the products. But the business owner cannot basically create products directly with Listing Pro. There's no option. They can add items like an inventory or catalog, but they cannot add products and start selling it on their listing. I think I just wanted to clarify that. I don't know if Tim, I think you did cover earlier about that, but if there's anything else you want to.
No, selling individual products on your website is super hard. I've had a lot of people ask for it. It's only super hard because how do you do the payments? Are you taking payments? Are you paying them? So it gets really confusing. But as you mentioned, in the Listing Pro dashboard out of the box, there is an events, deals, coupon button, and it doesn't have to be for events, deals, or coupon. It's just a call to action that they put a title, they put a description. Some of them allow you to add an image, and it's a button with a link on it, and it looks really good. So a link back over to their WooCommerce site or their product site definitely works, and a really cool feature out of the box. I forgot all about it. Love it. Can bookings be restricted to certain categories? Sam, you're gonna have to answer that one.
If you're referring to appointment booking, unless you're going to have it through payment, I think you can through pricing plan, where you can only enable booking feature for a specific plan, and that plan is associated to a certain category or restricted to a certain category. I believe you can do that if through pricing plan, yes. But I'll have to double check on that. Okay.
No, you're right. If you were to do the category plan booking, you can definitely do it that way. It's a whole nother step, right? You have to do all your categories, so the categories that you just want, and have a specific plan for that, and then add it to that plan. You are 100%.
Okay. Phillips, thanks for joining. Take care if you haven't left already. So I guess that's pretty much it. Unless there are any more questions, we have like 4 minutes. So Natura, do you have any questions?
No, not tonight. I don't have any questions.
Okay, app. Yes. So right now, we do have what you call Android app available. We just have Android, and iOS is still under beta. We are testing it right now, and hopefully by end of next month, maybe it will be released. Don't quote me on this, but yeah, it's work in progress. But the Android version is out. We also have a built-in mobile X sort of advanced responsive feature. It kind of looks like an app in your browser, but it's not really. It's not what do you call the I forgot, whatever, web app. So we do have the Android version as of now. It's actually Ionic. Yeah.
They made it look really good for mobile. So, you can switch to, in your theme options, you can switch to App View 1, App View 2, or responsive. A lot of times when you're using App View 1, which gives me the same features in an app. The only thing I don't have is you don't go to the store, you don't click on the app. And, I have some people who are like, well, my clients just like to click an icon. And it's like, that's great. Just save it to your bookmarks and click it on your bookmarks. The cool thing about the app is everything is already integrated and you don't have to pay. Like with iOS, you got to pay $100. I think Android might be free, but it's $100 to put your app in the store. It takes a little bit for it to get approved, but then you can start looking at those additional features. And I think that's all that App View is missing. Doesn't have like the push to talk notifications, doesn't have things like that, but it is built like an app because it's still got the 3 symbols at the bottom and it looks just like an app. So I think for now, it definitely works until their iOS version is released. And again, the Android is out. Try it out.
I guess if we don't have any more questions, we can wrap up. And hopefully you guys, you can join everybody who's on the session, and the next people who are going to watch it on YouTube, hopefully, join our Events Pro webinar that's coming up next week. We'll have more details in the description. Do check out Overnight Coder YouTube channel. Awesome videos.
Man, I appreciate you having me.
Sure.
I do.
Okay.
I've been really excited with your product. I know that not being affiliated, but I have 7 licenses. I bought the Medical Pro. I stand by you guys all the way, and I appreciate you having me today.
Thank you so much, Tim. Really appreciate your time. Thanks, everyone.